There's a lot of fast dudes here, and we want to see how we stack up. We got our little mighty Evo. It's putting out all its power. We've developed the shocks for this weekend. We keep tuning on the car. Willwood has got brakes on this car that are phenomenal. The ABS is working great. So I don't know. We'll see if we can bring it to these guys and see what happens.
You know, in every one of these events, the courses are so challenging. There's a very fine line between being right up to the limit and going past it, and when you go past it, you lose a ton of time.
You know, you got to get the launch right. You got to get the brake point for the turnaround right. Just go as fast as you can through the chicane and get the brake point for the stop box right.
Challenge for everybody. Again, I like to show that a vintage car can be in the running with no ABS and no tricks. And Brian Johnson's always strong there. Of course, the Evo with Ken, he makes up some time on the starting line for sure on us.
When you have a straightaway, that's where it's really going to play into the hand of the Evo. You know, in other courses, road race courses, maybe a bigger horsepower two-wheel drive car will have an advantage over it, but some of the times it plays right into our hands.
The four-cylinder cars are definitely deceiving, especially the turbo ones. You know, working for Honda and having raced a lot of Hondas, including turbocharged Hondas, you know, I have a good sense of what a turbocharged four-cylinder can do, and they can put out a lot of power, and obviously with the all-wheel drive, it's a big advantage, especially for these events where we're on street tires and everybody's fighting for grip. So those little cars can really get it done.
It's so nimble and agile that we're able to turn around and go flat foot through the chicane that they had built, and then we stop in the box because we put ABS on the car. Pretty fast, yeah. I mean, I think 16.2 was the fast time here. We just ran a 16.0 and hit a cone, so missed a shift and did all kinds of crazy stuff. So I think if we clean it up, you ought to be all right.
Speed stuff's really cool here in Charlotte because there's a lot of space.
The takeoff right off the line is super important. So you're there feathering the throttle, slipping the clutch a little bit because there's no gizmos, no buttons that you can turn on or off to try and aid traction control. So you're really working your feet. It's a game there most of the front straightaway until you get second gear to minimize tire spin, that you're always going forward, and that's what you're thinking. And again, as you come into that lane change really fast, wide open throttle, you just kind of point the car and hope you get it right.
You get greedy after you get one solid lap. You get really greedy because you think you can get a little more, and that's what happened here. I was about 2 feet out of the box and put a good number down, so I think I can back it up a little bit and probably get in the 15s. That's what I'm hoping.
You get a clean lap, then you keep pushing it a little more till it's too much.
On our second run, we were already the fastest car out there. 15.7 was our second run. You know, it's just amazing what this car can do, especially when you're able to launch it properly. And by the third run, we had posted a time that I felt that nobody was going to touch. So we're going to park it here for a while, and we ran a 15.17, which is we're 0.3 quicker than anything else out here today overall.
No, I don't think I have anything for that. It's not nearly as entertaining as the autocross or the road course, but we all have to do it, so it's the same for everybody.
It's a poker game. You always hold your cards close to the vest because you don't want to give the competition any inkling of a weakness. You're always trying to determine what is the guy's next move and how are you going to trump that.
It just takes a run that's just that tiny little bit better to get there, so it's the big chunks like 3/10 that are hard.
We'll just see if they can come get us or not.
Ken put down that 15.1, and you know, I was like, yeah, Ken, there's no way I'm going to get close to that. And so then he kind of parked the car for a while, but then I ran a 15.4, and you know, that's starting to get a little bit close. I'm glad Ken's at least a little bit nervous about my time. It's always good to make him get back in the car.
Yeah, I said I was done, but Brian Johnson was getting a little too close.
Yeah, race car drivers lie all the time.
Anytime we can make Ken a little nervous, I'm all right with that because he's a stout guy to get nervous.
They make you get back in the car. There's genuine fear there, believe me. Those guys are fast. We ran a 15.047, and the guy that handed me my time slip said a new track record. So we're leading here with, another 20 minutes to go. So I think we're looking pretty good. Thank you, Willwood Brakes. You got to take it while you can get it. Hey, we've won races this year, and that's a great feeling. We've lost races this year. When you win, you got to take it when you can get it and appreciate it when you get it.
Normal racing is very well defined. There's a lot of rules and it's very restrictive and gets very political, but you know, here we're all coming out with our cars that we love, that we have because we love them, and we can take them out and drive them, and we can go, you know, cruise on the weekend if we want to, and we can show up and compete against each other and try to beat each other's socks off, and you know, it's a very unique opportunity.
So we have technology this weekend. We keep working on the Evo to get better design and engineering points. I'm nervous. 75 in New Jersey. We got 83 in Pikes Peak. This is the one I don't have any control over. We got 94 here in Charlotte. And we keep working on that car, painting it, putting in better carpet, making my presentation better. We used an iPad this time around and showed pictures of before and after. So we're getting better and better and better at that. And that's what it's going to take to win championships. You can do it on the track, but you also have to do the other homework as well. You know, when you pull into the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the morning, it's like pulling into a shrine. This is NASCAR royalty here. This is NASCAR's home base. You look at the banking and you look at the walls and you look at the potential for self-harm. So you really have to take a look at that and see how much you're willing to risk that. Yeah, one of the things about this track here, it's really, really fast.
You know, we run on a lot of road courses that are kind of pure natural road courses, but also designed to be safe. You know, this is a big, fast NASCAR oval with an infield section, and you know, the infield section is great and it's laid out very safe, but you know, charging into the big oval turns is there's some danger involved.
In order to go fast here, you got to have big ones.
A lot of us that's been doing this a while, I think you get a little more comfortable with the speed, and you get addicted to it at the same time because you're always wanting to go a little further. And these street cars are going really, really fast here.
It's got a long straightaway down the back, and you're probably going as fast as you're going to go on any track that we visit throughout this series. You got to suck it up, heart in your throat, stand on the gas, and don't lift. Well, I don't know how fast we were going, but you know, we were going pretty fast.
Yeah, you're hitting 155 on the back straight and 144 on the front straight.
That's going pretty good for a little shoebox with 4 doors.
Well, it was a good first session. We're in 4th. Kyle Tucker's ahead of us by a few hundredths of a second, so again, it's another tight battle. I was pretty happy because we went out behind Brian Johnson. He set best time out there, and you know, we hung right with him. So I think the car's hanging right in there. We'll see if we can go faster this next session. Track will be changing on us, so
Okay. Well,
that could have been the session right there. I don't know that the track's going to get any faster after that, so we'll see.
It wasn't bad. I was hoping to go faster than I did based on my last time from last year, but I don't know if it's hotter or I was making some mistakes, but you know, overall a solid lap. I think I was fastest out of our group, but not by a whole lot, so I got to look at some data and see where I can go faster. It's definitely 2 halves. The infield is kind of slow and tight, and the pavement's kind of slippery, and you just really have to be patient in several spots. And then, you know, going down the back straight, barreling into NASCAR turn 3 is unlike anything else that we do. You know, speeds in the 160s, and you know, cramming it down in there is just it takes some you know, takes some guts. The first session out, tried to go as hard as I could, but I was still, not really where I needed to be lap time wise. Second session, got some things together, made fewer mistakes, had a really good lap, and that ended up being the best of the day. After that, the heat and the driver got slower and really couldn't get back down to that time, but fortunately it held up.
We had a chance to put in a real good lap second session today. Had a good lap going, 2 seconds faster than we were already had run. And 300 yards before the start-finish line where we would have got that lap, Kyle blew a seal on his power steering and smoked and dropped fluid on the track, and we had to get out of the throttle. We couldn't get our lap.
I've been checking my mirrors because Ken and I were running close together. He was right behind me. And instantly I felt something, the steering didn't feel just right, and looked in my mirror, just smoke everywhere. And first thing I thought of was Ken's behind me. I barely see him in the smoke. So I instantly get offline, get the car slowed down the best I can to make sure that he's safe.
That's the way it goes. So you're gonna lay in bed at night and beat yourself up about woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You'll just, you'll live a very unhappy life. One of the things that you have to think about is, what's going to give you the best time? And sometimes the line at the light that trips the lights to give you your times isn't the fastest way around the track. You make an angle for the light and you get the best time and throw away the next lap. And I had a good lap going, and I always had to brake before the start finish. But this time I wasn't braking at the start finish. I was going to blow right through the start finish, get on the brakes as hard as I could, and go straight off the track and into the safety zone. That's what I did, and I did it per the rules. And it's not that I was getting away with something, but I used them to my maximum benefit. Now, I don't think I'd get away with it if I was doing it every lap, but I did it the one time, and it worked to my advantage.
Got to play those little tricks sometimes.
I think Ken just barely got me on this last session. He and I were running close together. I ran up on him in the apron a little bit, and then he took off on that second lap and had a good lap. I think that was his best time. So we'll see what we can do in the last session.
When you race against the Detroit Speed guys, they don't give up. Perfect it's been all day, so I was surprised that it was a 38 myself. I didn't think it was going to be a 36 just because it's just so hot. Look what Kyle did to us today. Came out of nowhere and went a second and a half faster, just like that. So you never know when one of us is going to come get you.
Wow, good for him.
All right, well, good job.
Yeah. Thanks. We pedaled that thing as hard as we could today, and we came in 4th place. Kyle Tucker beat me in the very last session of the day. So, we'll take it. We're going to go to COTA next, and that car should do really well on that type of course. And it handles great, so we'll see. We walk away from this place with 490 points. So add that to our other point total of 479 that we got in Pikes Peak. And you know what? I don't know. We're in contention for the GTL championship. And who knows, maybe the overall championship. We'll see. We take it race by race. We're going to keep trying. We're going to keep digging. We're going to keep improving. The car was much faster this weekend than it was at Pikes Peak. Maybe it'll be faster at COTA as well.